Hi, my name is Daniel Sokol, licensed psychotherapist. I wanted to talk a little bit today about what psychotherapy for seasonal transitions looks like and what kind of transitions there are and who I treat for seasonal transitions. Um, Summer into September is a really tough one. Um, it is often tied with historical memories of summer's over, school begins. And then for a lot of people who do late August vacations, it is a repetitive and magnified experience that can lead to a lot of depression or anxiety about starting things up new again. If you have kids, getting them into school, and if you are a kid, saying goodbye to summer, which is often full of a lot of fun and lack of a lot of authority and scheduling and things like that. Other transitions can be even going into winter. Once you get acclimated kind of to the end of the summer, a lot of people tend to hibernate over the winter. They feel really kind of sad and create kind of a cabin fever. There's a lot of social isolation that can come from that. And then going into holidays can be really tough for people, getting family together. You got Thanksgiving and Christmas kind of really close, and that oftentimes brings up a lot of active tensions, whether it be about family and politics, historical tensions, whether it be family members where there's conflict or historical trauma with, or just dealing with family in general. You kind of get an overdose of it at that time. After winter, kind of going into summer can also be really tough for people. Some people have anxiety about the lifting of regulation and scheduling and patterns, and planning vacations can be overwhelming, or just having a lot of downtime can be overwhelming. For kids, often it can be about suddenly there's this connection with classmates and teachers, and then it just changes. There's none of that for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and that can be really tough. So how do you kind of do work with some seasonal transition issues is kind of a loaded question. For some people, it's really just about support and insight during the time of transition, understanding where it comes from, that it might be historically rooted or that it might be about the transition and what it brings up. It could be long term. It can be about really understanding what happens internally affectively when someone becomes exhausted or stressed or overwhelmed, and how it can sometimes be tied to these transitions. And sometimes depression, anxiety symptoms can be magnified around these times, and understanding that is really important. I'll kind of give an example. Sometimes I'll give you a summer example and a winter example. Sometimes in summer, people kind of revisit past relationships, past places, and they kind of can fall onto these old patterns, and then get excited and are kind of living a regressive kind of youthful moment. And then once the time of the vacation ends or summer ends, it can lead to kind of a real depressive feeling about where someone's at this point in their life. A winter example is some people tend to hibernate and isolate, and so there might be some real active socialization in summer, and then as it gets colder and colder, there's less going out, or due to inclement weather, there could be less ability to go out and do things and meet people. And then the social isolation, the cabin fever, the increased depression, or the increased agoraphobia or anxiety can come up from that. So I hope that kind of makes sense of how I think about and work with seasonal transition issues. If you're interested in reaching out, or if this is helpful, I'm glad, and feel free to click on the links to my website attached, and watch more of my videos if you'd like to see and listen to more. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.